despite of killings within Nigerian states, is traceable to religious intolerance by some religious fanatics who believe they are conquerors and superior in terms of their belief and religious perception than other regions or other faithfuls who practice different religion other than theirs. And by such, of course, they tend to violate or disrespect other people's religion and culture. The faith they are conquerors, and it seems very difficult for them to respect the religion and culture of those who believe they have conquered. This is the case of Atyap community of people within the Atyap Zango in southern Kaduna, who has expressed deep dissatisfaction over the continued disrespect of their culture by the Hausa Fulani uh, leadership or masters who believe they are slaves. But in contradictions, the Atyap people has come to say we can continue to take these subjugations and assault on our own existence and our own culture and the right to expression of religion and interest. Is very unfortunate, and that has been the very foundation of crisis related to religiosity and by extension economic crisis within the country. Yes, how could one expect that his religion be respected why he or she do not extend or reciprocate the same respect to other people's religion or opinion about certain happenings? How could you lord it over to other people? This has been a very strong theme in the Nigerian communal conflicts that has cost several lives, disruption of communal activities within certain regions, most pronouncedly within the northern part of the country, where there is high rates of religious intolerance. For instance, the case of Deborah that was stoned to death and burned after he was stoned to death. She was stoned to death, and eventually the case was that he disrespected or argued or tried to question the Islamic interest. It's very unfortunate. She was not given the right opportunity to defend herself. She wasn't given the right opportunity to make case for herself or express her own opinion regarding this. No, she has to be stoned to death. And unfortunately, we are told that the DSS, the military that came to rescue her, was overpowered by the mobs and they were helpless, watching the border being stoned to death. Just in as much as we continue to encourage religious tolerance, other people, especially the Fulani or the Hausas or the Islamic religion, must also learn to respect other people's religion. And within the Nigerian states, it's been believed that Nigeria practices secular religion. It's a secular state where every people, including all religion, the atheists, of course, are given the right to their own opinion. The Christians, you have the Muslims, you have the traditionalists, you have the pagans, and every other set of religion is given opportunity to express their own religious beliefs or affinity, affiliations, as the case is. But unfortunately, that seems to be usurped. That seems to not be in existence or invoked as far as Nigeria is concerned. It's quite unfortunate. For instance, the Atyap people has a culture of preserving, of course, the food, or having a food bank or reservoir where they store foods for their for the next farming season, and as a way of sustenance to their families. And they prohibit women or other people that are not the natives of Atyap coming to interfere uh, with those reservoirs. But unfortunately, as part of their culture, which they cherish so much, unfortunately, the Hausa Fulani is desecrated, disrespected that culture, disparaging their fundamental right of existence. And this angered the Atyap people that they could no longer continue to tolerate this and miss this strong disrespect to their right, to their culture, and rather giving the food or reserve to animals, just forcing it over to them at will is quite very disturbing. And some may have argued that Deborah, of course, called it on herself. It's not a good argument to make. Deborah should have been given the opportunity for expression and the right to defend herself, but it's quite unfortunate. The reason why most people are now opposing the Sharia law. The Sharia does not give opportunity for people to defend their right to self-hearing, as enshrined in the United Nations Charter on People's Right of Existence and Right of Expression. It's very unfortunate. Now, someone have argued, why is this the way it is today? And let's look at very important issue. Religious intolerance has been as old as Nigeria, but unfortunately taking unusual dimensions today, well spread out to the point that even those within the secular or public office holders are now supporting or promoting the religious intolerance. It's very unfortunate. We've seen that played out. We've seen some notable personalities coming to defend the killing or the gruesome murder of Deborah and other people that have suffered as a result of religious intolerance. It's very unfortunate, and that is what we are seeing today. This aspect of culture and beliefs. Nobody has the right to usurp any other people's right to expression of their culture. It is their way of life, it's a way of existence are being handed over to them by their ancestral, of course, links or lineage. So in no way should any man under any disguise tends to disrespect or disparage such cultures, because it's a direct affront on the people. And the people should also learn to respect other people's rights. When you are demanding respect from other people, you should also learn how to respect people's rights and beliefs. It's very important in order to build a system where everybody will be happy and, of course, tolerate each other if that is necessary to continue as one people. But that seems to be very far within the Nigerian system, because it has eaten deeply into the fabric of the existence of Nigeria and have fast eroded the very foundation of the unity of this country, that no person feels freely, most especially in the northern part of the country. It's very unfortunate. And the southern people have learned to be more tolerant, I mean, in fact, far tolerating than any other part of the country, especially the north. It's very unfortunate as the case is. And another thing, the born to rule mentality on the conquest mentality is very destructive. Some people feel above to be above others, why they demean others' rights to existence, rights to life, believing that they are the ones born to rule. They are more superior, of course, breeds or species. Their religion is the top notch. They are the ones, as one of the governors expressed in most uh, the recent past, that the Fulanis are global citizens. Can you imagine that? Where there are conflicts of interest, where in the interest of peace, equity, and fairness, in the interest of justice, what this governor of Fulani extraction could say in the midst of a burning conflict, that Fulanis are global citizens and should be accorded such. Wherever they are, they have the right to invade any part of the country and grab land or reside there without the permission or consent of those indigenous people or the original owners of those land. It's quite mischievous and very unfortunate coming from a public office holder of such caliber. And this is one of the reasons we have been uh, arguing that those who occupies public office must be people with proven sanity, with proven character, and of course, level of tolerance, because they are not there to promote their personal interests, but the collective interests of all. And in a time where there is discrepancy or conflict of interest, they will be able to, of course, stand in the truth and for the truth, not being sentimental or biased. It's very unfortunate that we are seeing this. And some have said, if Fulanis are your masters, if Fulani have conquered you, the Atyap people are saying, we are not conquered by the Fulanis. If you doubt us, go and read the history of Zamani Lawat, of course, and the role he played in defending his people. It's quite unfortunate that this keep on reoccurring, a recurring decimal. People who feel they are conquerors will not in any way want to respect the culture, the beliefs of those they believe they have conquered. But the truth is that my own people has not been conquered, the Igbo race, and I believe they are brothers, Eastern brothers as well. And this is very important in the interest of truth. Why do you want respect when you do not respect others? It's quite important. If we can ask ourselves these fundamental questions, perhaps that will pave room for coexistence and peace. But in as much as we continue to live in delusion, in wallowing in self-deceptions, we can get out of this wood anytime soon. And of course, the rage, the sentiments is spreading like wildfire. People are becoming more apprehensive and more conscious of the realities happenings within their own confined regions or territory, and now are thinking toward the fence of their right to existence. And this have resulted to the call on several regions and by several people to balkanize the Nigerian state. Why? Because if Nigeria cannot be united on the basis of nationality, on the basis of religion, on the basis of ideology or values, then there's no need for the continuity of Nigeria. Of course, this was one of the arguments of presented by Sunday Igboho, the convener for Oduduwa Nation, that if Nigeria can live together, nothing unites Nigeria, not religion, not any national interest or value. Now, what is the essence of being together, stuck in the wheel of motionless and despair? Agony, the sounds and wailings of brutalizations, killings, and mannings cannot define humanity. And to this end, in order to preserve humanity, of course, people have been calling and have maintained their positions that the only panacea or antidote to the incessant killings, massacre, invasions by some certain people who has vested interest in overrunning the entire country must be, of course, to disintegrate Nigeria in the interest of humanity and the collective interest of all. That as long as Nigeria remains as one, in quotes, and this perversions continues, and of course, Nigeria moves nowhere. Rather, the escalation of the crisis and insecurity will continue to take very destructive dimensions. It's very unfortunate. But then, let's get to know what is your own take regarding this development. Disparaging people's rights to culture and beliefs is a criminal offense and should not be condoned or tolerated by any responsible society. And to this end, we come to the end of this argument or discussion. Of course, to continue at the comment sections, let's get to know what is your own take regarding this development and the way you believe is the way forward. Thank you.